Hi there! Hello! It's Monday morning here in Norway, and today in this series, Let's Talk, I decided to talk about peace. Now, it's a big topic, yes. It's, I think, a topic that we all sort of talk about, but do we really relate to the concept? Do we understand what it means? Do we think about what peace is, and do we believe it can happen? Do we believe that there can be peace in our world, in our lives, and then, of course, in ourselves? So, what is peace? Now, I asked my son yesterday, he's 15, I asked him, what do you think about when I say peace? And he thought, and he said, well, and he went immediately to the technicality of it in a way. He went to the outer world, which is fine. He went to respecting each other's borders, and keeping your own borders, identity, cultural identity. And I said, well, cultural identity isn't always the same as the country's borders. No, it's more complex. He meant more sort of a cultural identity. And I said, okay, but how do we do this? How can we manage to leave each other in peace, to leave each other be? I mean, look at Russia and Ukraine, what do we do? And he said, well, acceptance. And I said, yeah, okay, that's beautiful, acceptance, of course. But what if you live in a culture, and you are in a culture, and you are oppressed, you are violated against in some way or other? What then? And he said, well, I can't really relate to that because I'm not in that position. You know, he's a young, tall, good-looking white guy. We are very, very privileged in that sense. And he said, I can't really relate to it. He said, okay, so, but do you still think, that people need to accept the situation? And he said, he didn't quite know the answer to that. And then I asked him, okay, well, how about you? Your peace, your inner peace. How do you, can you find peace in yourself? And he said, well, I don't really know, he said. But I said, do you accept yourself? He said, yes. That's the thing I do. I accept it. I accept other people, which is also, I mean, he's a young fellow. He's quite a character, but everybody likes him because he accepts everybody else, and he doesn't accept anybody to be different. And of course, this is a young man who's been through some traumatic things in his young life already, quite traumatic, with illness in the family and divorce and things. But still, he's got a certain amount of self-confidence and self-esteem that he can actually accept who he is. And I said, but do you have to understand? He said, no, I don't understand myself at all. I still accept it. So this was just an interesting a little conversation I had yesterday because I was preparing for today, or I was thinking, what shall I say? What should we talk about? What shall I talk about? I would love to hear from you, so please leave comments and any thoughts you have on these topics. Now, why do I bring up the big topic of peace today? Because it's something that we all want, I think. I think we all would like to have some peace in our lives, but also in this world. But also, I think it's our nature. And this might sound strange because as humans, we tend to be in chaos most of the time in our lives. And this is partly due to everything going on in our minds. And with this shifting your mindset challenge that I had a few weeks ago, that was part of the thought and the idea that if you can manage to shift your thoughts and your ways of handling your own situations and thinking about things and perceiving yourself in situations, perceiving people around you, perceiving the world, then you will achieve a greater sense of peace in yourself and also a sense of love, self-love. So I'm getting this sun. I didn't realize when I sat here, the sun it's a beautiful day, and of course it's reflecting in the window, so I'm getting it from two sides here. Fantastic. Anyway, gratitude, grateful for whatever we have. The peace, the 14th, the Holiness Dalai Lama, the 14th Dalai Lama, he has said, apparently, that outer peace starts with inner peace. And this is also my whole project, my whole work. It's everything I do has to do with healing yourself so you can show up in the world, well, for your own good, for my own good, for your own good, healing yourself so you can have a better, you feel better, have a better life, enjoy life, indulge in life, explore life, create, move forward with the kind of a playful creativity that I also think is our nature, which I also think is connected to peace, because I'm jumping a bit here, but peace to me is not sitting all day just in silence and bliss. It's about following your heart, following the passion in your heart, and being so confident in your own skin and in your own heart that you can accept the other person, but also being confident enough in your own skin that you do not accept or allow oppression in your life. Sometimes this can be difficult because you're in situations and you think you don't have control, but you always have control of your own situation. And I was thinking, okay, where does acceptance come into play in situations where you feel stuck, you can't get out, and you're being violated against in some way? Well, every movement, every shift starts with you and with the acceptance that this is your situation now. Not accept the action, but accept, okay, I'm here. I'm feeling this oppression. I'm feeling tiny in this situation. I'm feeling that I'm worthy of nothing. I have no worth at all. And accepting this will give you a starting point from which you can move forward and start to heal. Because I also, as I said, I believe that peace is our nature. As souls, in our essence, I believe this is what we're striving for. We're striving for the state of peace and love. Hippie. And I'm not a typical hippie, but these are values. That was a beautiful movement in that time, and it is a beautiful movement now. Everybody's striving to achieve these natural states of peace and love and harmony and balance, and that we all sort of laugh a bit about now, because I feel maybe what happened in that movement was that it wasn't grounded enough. And I think what's happening now, because so many people are making shifts and moving forward to find this peace and to find this state of unconditional love. But I think we're also more in touch with the ground as we do so. So I think it's actually quite a powerful movement that's going on now. And so these are my initial thoughts about, well, it was my son's thoughts first about peace and what peace is, what we can do to achieve peace, both globally and also personally. But then there's one big question. Do you believe that it's possible? And I think a lot of us don't. We give up. Looking at everything that's going on, listening to the news, repeating the atrocity not only once but 100 times every day, so it becomes so much bigger and more powerful. And yes, what goes on in these conflicts and wars is terrible. It's awful for everybody who's in it and everybody affected by it. And we are all more affected than we think because, well, quantum physics talks about this. Every energy that we sort of send out, it reaches out because we're connected through through the air, through the earth, through our energies, through our feelings, and also through, of course, the news and everything that happens there. And with everything that goes on around the world that we get bombarded with, and it's very sort of unbalanced because we don't get bombarded with all the beauty that's going on. You have to look for that. You have to look for people striving to do good. You have to look for people who do beautiful things and for beautiful events in the world, whereas we're bombarded with all the pain. And this means that we lose faith. So do you believe it's possible to achieve peace? Do you believe it's possible for yourself to achieve some sort of inner peace? And again, I believe that this is your nature, and if you just start to listen to your intuition, a lot of us don't think we have intuition, but you do. I mean, you're doing it all the time, I promise you. Every time you have a liking to somebody and you don't know why, that's intuition. There's a connection there. Everything, maybe you thought about somebody and they called, it's intuition. Choices you make quickly, it's intuition. And you know a lot more than you think. So starting to explore and understand this and believe in this intuition, starting to listen to your own cues, your own knowledge and awareness and experience of what it is that makes you feel in place. It can be tiny little things. You can start exploring little things, or you can maybe you know something really a grand thing. Maybe performing a concert makes you feel peaceful or happy. Maybe it's just walking in nature, walking barefoot in the grass. Maybe it's looking at a flower. Maybe it's petting an animal. And you have it in you. You have this inner peace in you. It's in your essence, and the more we strive to release anything that obstructs it and disturbs us in our minds, for instance, the more we get closer to this experience. It's a state of being. And the more of us that do this, and you'll start affecting people around you with it. You start smiling more, they'll smile back more, they'll feel better. If you smile, you feel better. Maybe if you raise your posture, we start copying each other. We do copy each other's language. And a funny example is if you go into an elevator and you stand with your back towards the door and everybody's standing facing you, they'll start turning around because it feels uncomfortable not to copy you. We follow each other. So if you start to connect to this and you start to smile, it will affect the people around you. But it also, the more people that do this, the more power it has globally. And all those people in pain, causing atrocities and hurting other people, they're in pain. They're disconnected from their nature, from everything that they really can be. And these people, if we start to heal, then we can maybe and hopefully reach through to them. And I do believe it's possible. And this is one of the reasons I'm creating a big project to help people gather to heal and connect in this way, wherever they're from. And this is a project that I'll share more about eventually, but as we go along. But it's whatever. I know it's possible because I know the more of us that gather together to do it, from a point of or a starting place of your own heart and your own appreciation of being you, of gratitude in your life, whatever it is. All these exercises that I've shared in previous videos, they're all on my Facebook profile, they're all on my YouTube channel, Emma Rowena, if you're interested in checking it out, about shifting your mind. They're all, and we'll do something on Wednesday as well, a little bit. They're all sort of, all these shifts that bring you closer to this sense of peace in yourself. And if you have a foundation of feeling at peace in your own skin, then everything that comes to you, and including everything that you disturb yourself with, will be easier to meet, to accept, and find a way to release, find a way to move away from, find a way to heal from, find a way to break out of those oppressive relationships, systems. We have to start at the ground root in order to rise, like all the flowers in the spring break through the old leaves. We can do this. I believe it's possible, but we have to start with ourselves. This is my mantra. It starts here in your heart. So I would like to do a little bit of a centering in your heart again, as I usually do. This time I'm going to give you a little do something fun. It's something I've done it before, but I learned in a different way now from somebody called Jeffrey Allen, a beautiful spiritual coach. And it's if you can close your eyes if you're able to, or you can just imagine in your mind's eye that you have like a not very peaceful. Have a light switch, but alive and living his life. You have a light switch that you can turn down, and this is the light switch to your mind clutter, all the thoughts, all the analysis going on in your mind that might be obstructing you a little bit. Pardon me for the squinting, but the sun's reflecting in the window, it's hitting me, as I said. Imagine that you have this switch, and you can imagine that if your mind clutter is going on at full speed, the light is fully on, the switch is fully on. Now pretend or imagine that you can turn it down to 50% and see how it feels. See if anything comes to, if you can sense any difference. Play with it. Play with it and turn it down to 30%. Anything happen, it doesn't matter if it doesn't, just do it, pretend it. And then you can turn it down all the way to 0. Switch it off completely. Turn it up again to 50%. Down again. It's these images and these exercises. I urge you to explore with them. It's fun. It's exciting to do. And it's the more you do it, the more you get used to noticing what happens with you in your mind and in your energy when you do it. And if you notice that you can decide, but using images is a language to your subconscious and your soul, which will work for you and help you to do this. So if you put a switch there, having the intention that this is the light switch for your mind clutter, then your subconscious knows this, and you start switching it down, and your mind will start calming down. So practice it, try it. And finally, to end this whole talk now, Wednesday I'll come back with a little bit more of an exercise, I think. See if I can think of something very clever that I'd like to share about breaking through to your own peace. And because, as the Dalai Lama said, it starts with you. Inner peace leads to outer peace eventually. So that's where we start. So now I will do the gathering yourself to yourself exercise a little bit, the breathing, where you take 3 deep breaths, and as you breathe in, imagine that you're bringing in all the energy that you've had scattered around in the past or in the future. Bring it in into the center of you, the core, the essence, along your backbone. And as you breathe out, imagine how you anchor this energy of yours down into your hip area, into your root. And breathe in again. Any energy you're left with, any people, any events, bring it in. Just imagine that you're pouring your whole air that is your energy into you, and as you breathe out, you anchor it down into your belly and your hips. And the last one, the remains of whatever is out there that you don't even know about. Just imagine, use your imagination that you're pulling in, breathing in all the energy that's you, into your center, into the core of you. And as you breathe out, feel how it's anchoring into your hips. And then you can imagine how it flows, this energy, this anchor of yours flows down in through your legs, through your feet, into the ground, so you can stand firmly in your own truth, in your own place. And then I would like you again to bring your focus. You can bring your hands to your heart center if you like, or just focus. And I'd like you to imagine that there's a seed, there's a spark of wisdom in there. Whichever form or shape it takes to you, you might even not be able to see or know an image, just pretend, maybe feel that there's a center, there's this spark in there. And this is your nature. This is the part of you, the essence that knows what inner peace, what peace is, knows what this unconditional love is. It knows what joy is, what creation is. And you can imagine, play with it, go with it, imagine how this spark is allowed now, finally, to start to expand through you. Through your whole body, like a bubble of energy, or a sun shining out, or a candlelight, expanding its light. Just a feeling of something flowing through your body, opening up, expanding all the way around through to the entire body, top to toe, out to the fingertips, all through your whole body, through all your cells. Just feel it, receive it. And then beyond your body, beyond your physical, through your skin, out around you. This beautiful sense of peace, of wisdom, of you can surround you and carry you through the day. All the way around, like a big bubble, above and below, all around. And you can expand it as large as you want, but make sure that at least an arm's length around your body. And feel, put the intention, set the intention that this, I invite you to do, you can choose your own intention, but one intention would be that you find you are carried by this sense of peace and wisdom and faith through the day. And you can put any other intention you'd like to bring into the day, into this moment. And as you've done so, just let go. You can shake it off if you like, and dance your way through the day, because dance is also peace. Movement is peaceful. Beautiful movement. Look at nature. Power, but peaceful. With reaction when it's suppressed. Those are my thoughts today, my dears. And thank you for watching. I see there are quite a few people here today. I'm very, very happy to see you. And any comments, any experiences, any thoughts on peace, anything you'd like me to maybe bring up on Wednesday, where I talk about how you can break through more in this sort of meditation and centering is one exercise, but I'll see if I can find the perfect little exercise for Wednesday as well. Okay, have a beautiful day, take care, and enjoy your nature. Bye-bye.